you have just wrapped up the Canyon of Fur with your guide, Abe's, who has brought you to the entrance to the Wailing Cavern. The Wailing Cavern? The Wailing...
Cairns.
Cairn.
Cairn or
Cairn?
Cairns?
Canyon?
Plural?
Cairns? The Wailing Cairns.
What do you mean the coupon is expired?
No, not Wailing Cairns.
That would be horrifying, though.
Caerns.
An entire canyon full of wailing Karens demanding to see your manager and yelling at you that they got the wrong order or that this is the wrong size. Why don't you have my color?
I asked for soy latte.
They all want to see your manager.
Everyone is Karen is the next game we play.
Oh my god, yes.
What do you mean I can't use 2 coupons for the same order? That doesn't say it anywhere in the ad.
Roll intimidation, Heather.
Why can't you just give me the rebate here? Why do I have to mail it in?
Honestly, based on all of the places we're anticipating we end up now, that sounds like the worst.
Apologies to any Karen out there. Your parents chose the wrong name.
It's not your fault.
Yes, full disclaimer, we know not all Karens are crazy manager-demanding people.
Like, I want to see your manager.
Whoa, Jesus!
That was the cosmic Karen.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Well, they're in a cavern. The Karens are in a cavern.
Oh my god, the cosmic Karen. I want to see your pantheon. I demand to see your pantheon right now.
Oh my god, alright.
Beautiful. We're just coming. This, such a rich and detailed lore. It's really going to set us apart as a chef.
Ashport, a city on the brink. The winds of the restless sea are thick with the soot and grime of progress. The continent of Valdara is a land of adventure and magic, and while it is dragged through the smoke and into the light of a modern age, the Birchfield Institute and its operatives, the Proctors, lead the charge.
Well, we're still in the Underdark, searching for the elemental grimoire. This far down, there's not much light to speak of or a lot of friendly faces, although we did meet 2. Abe's, a bugbear hunter, and his beast companion, Nugget. They've been helping us get through the Canyon of Fur without, getting too much attention drawn to ourselves. It's been a long couple of days, and we're trying to keep our bearings down here, but it's hard with all the darkness. We also have to make sure to try to avoid some of the less friendly residents of the Underdark, but overall we're working pretty well together. Bonnie and Adelaide had a little bit of a debate about street smarts versus book smarts. Sounded like they got a little personal, maybe, but they talked it out and it seems to be alright now. We definitely need to work together if we're gonna survive down here, if we want to find this book for the Institute. Abe's kept us fed, sort of. I honestly don't think I'm gonna be able to look at a tick the same way ever again. And he led us through the Canyon of Fur, so we're at the edge of this place called the Wailing Cairns. The names just keep getting better and better. Abe's warned us not to make any noise while we're in the cairns, and he meant any. So I guess it's out of the frying pan and into the fire. Side note, don't ever fry scuttle claws, apparently they explode. Before he left us on our own, Abe's noticed Adelaide's proctor pin. He said he saw some people come through with the same symbol, and they passed through here a few days ago.
So you are standing at the edge of this, and Abe's has seen your insignia, your little bronze badge, and he recognizes it, mentions that there are other people down here with that same symbol.
Bastards.
Pardon?
He said that he's seen some other Institute blokes down here.
How many?
6. Well armed.
Okay, and out of curiosity, what color pin were they wearing? This one? What color was it?
Did not see pin. Saw box.
And how long ago was this, you said?
He said 2 days.
I don't remember.
2 days.
2 days ago.
Did they all have the symbol, or was it just on the box? Did you happen to see?
I did not see. It was on the box. They seem very stealthy.
I'm sorry, did you say stealthy or stilty? Because one of them I can understand. Okay, all right, sorry.
Stealthy. Quiet. Unlike you.
I beg your
Not
pardon.
using light to walk around.
All right, then. Thank you for taking us here, Abes. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you for bringing us here, Abes. We really appreciate the help.
Remember what I said about Cavern or Cairn.
Could you kindly remind us what you said about Cairn, please?
I was hoping one of you would remember.
Be careful.
Something about keeping on moving and not being visible and not making sounds and
And that you weren't coming with us.
being stealthy.
And when we get back, Arthur is to make that bat noise he intuited so well.
We probably should get a move on then.
Good luck. You'll need it.
Thank you, Apes, for everything.
Thank you.
Bye, no good.
No, he comes over and licks Arthur in the face with his little, he's a very small, sort of, almost human-like tongue.
That's a good boy.
Kind of gross.
It was so much worse. You could have said like an anteater. You could have said anything other than a person tongue.
It's almost like person face. And then the two of them will take off. Disappearing into the darkness, leaving you standing at the entrance to the Wailing Cairns.
Is anyone else a little miffed that there's some other Birchfield people down here? I thought we were sent in.
Even worse than the Birchfield hired out fetchers to do the work they sent us to do, or somebody got a little too excited and beat us here.
If they don't have pins, maybe they're not Birchfield people.
Well, we never gave them the final map, so hopefully that'll make it harder for them. They won't be able to get there. But regardless, we don't know if they were from Birchfield or not, because Abe's didn't see pins, but it doesn't mean they don't have them.
If they had equipment, they're connected, or we should follow up. Either way, I'm not happy.
Agreed.
Or maybe it's someone completely unrelated that just stole a box of the Institute's goods.
That's what I was thinking.
That is also possible. All he saw was a box with the symbol, so we don't really know.
That doesn't make it better, though.
Let's be sure to talk this out before we go into it in the Wailing Cairns, because the rest of this podcast is going to be very boring once we can't speak.
We'll just describe our actions.
Show, don't tell. Oh wait, it's audio
Only
only.
in the Wailing Cairns, though. That's the rule there. Adelaide is going to slowly start walking forward, and it will take a little while before her entire posture stops being tense.
Adelaide, do you want someone who has dark vision to go first?
Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting walk. You guys should probably hold on to some of us that can see better in the dark.
Am I allowed to light a candle? A torch?
Abe said no light.
Wonderful.
Also, if you have any jingly janglies on the outside of your pack, you might want to put them on the inside.
I can't do anything about the armor.
We'll just take our time then.
And no whistling in the dark.
Let's look at the map closely before we go in so we get a general idea of the direction we need to go so we don't have to stop and look at it. If we need to move quickly and silently, best to know where we're going ahead of time.
All right. Adelaide will grab her journal again and flip through the pages to get to the illustration for this area.
As you start to look through the map, this area seems to have more pockets of activity as opposed to like different dead ends and things. It's more open, and there's like these little kind of collections of stones and pillars and things that kind of reach the ceiling. You're not sure how this would have been created naturally. It doesn't seem to be, as I said, natural. So for the most part, even with your dark vision, you're going to be wandering around, not seeing anything to your sides or top. But the idea is you're going to want to continue to go through the cavern, following. You could follow a wall, but it would be a lot longer of a journey than just trying to walk straight across.
Is it possible to go straight, or is that?
Yes, absolutely. You'll hit a few of these pillars. The map doesn't indicate if they're good or bad or just neutral. So you would guess probably just neutral, but they continue on. But it looks like instead of it being one gigantic pillar, it's a bunch of smaller pillars or something. You really can't tell until you get to one of them.
All right. Sounds like a plan to me.
I suggest we go straight, hard and fast, as quiet as possible, and get out as quick as possible.
Sounds good.
All right.
So you guys start to walk through the darkness. Merrick and Arthur. Or wait, Merrick and Arthur? No, Merrick and Adelaide.
Bonnie and Val are the ones that
Yeah.
have dark vision.
Got it. So you're probably at the front and the back
Yeah.
of the group.
Back. I'm probably at the back because I'm the loudest.
So you guys kind of have a chain holding on to each other's belt loops
Good. The two healers.
as you slowly start to walk through the Wailing Cairns. And after about maybe an hour worth of walking, the first sound you've heard the entire time, other than the occasional little drip and echo of your breathing, you start to hear. It sounds like this just low kind of
Whistling in the dark.
like a
Whistling
hum.
in the dark.
It's very, very soft, but
Whistling.
definitely noticeable since you have
Whistling.
your hearing is basically all you've got right now. The smell in the air is very crisp and clean, like most caves are, and it smells like water and salt, a little bit of salt. And you hear that noise, and as you continue to move forward, you hear it more and more. Then you notice off in the distance, maybe 100 feet in front of you, you see what you thought was a trick of your eyes. It's some sort of glow, and it's huge. It's this really tall bioluminescent sort of tower. And as soon as you can kind of see it, you hear another kind of sound is about the same type of thing, but a little more high pitched, like whoa, and this kind of weird kind of reverberating hum or drone sound.
For those of you who can't see our video, Merrick just made a 2-fingered forward motion, and the rest of the group nodded.
I was gonna say.
But even the people that can't see. So the group continues to move forward, and as you get closer to this thing, you realize this is probably one of the pillars that this map was talking about. But it is not. It doesn't appear to be natural, or if it is, it's not. Whatever it is covering the natural pillar, as these look to be some sort of like bulbous sort of natural construct, almost like an insect construct, over the entire outside of this from top to bottom. Well, kind of like a wasp's nest, that kind of pattern to it, all up and down both sides of this. And as you get closer, you hear a third level of this kind of droning, this really high pitch, and just all of those just kind of combining around this pillar, and it gets louder as you move closer to it.
Bonnie's going to start skirting the edge of the darkness, not to get too close to this pillar. She does not like the sound it's making. So rather than going straight, she's going to, because she can see in the dark, she's going to skirt so they stay hidden away from the bioluminescence and try and be even quieter as they go around it.
Yeah. Val follows along with her from the back end, like, oh yeah, no, this does not look good.
As you do that, you notice that this seems to be one of the most of these pillars, and you see that the bioluminescence starts to almost creep onto the ceiling, but then kind of vanish into the darkness. And you continue to walk, and it kind of starts to die down. And then, as you get another maybe half hour forward, on the ceiling itself, you see this bioluminescence, and you start to hear the lowest pitch. And as you continue to walk forward, you realize that the entire ceiling at this point is covered in this, and it almost starts to give enough light for you to see. And then you kind of start moving it just a little bit more forward, maybe 10, 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden you're realizing you can see quite a bit of the cavern now. It's just kind of coming into focus because all of the pillars and the ceiling are covered in this bioluminescent sort of
I attack it.
natural construct.
Bonnie turns around and makes a face at Val like, I don't like this.
Yes, Val mimics that face and then very quickly does like a forward hand, like just go, go, go kind of motion.
Is Merrick right behind Bonnie?
Yeah, we had established that previously, so
Same order.
not this episode.
She's knowing that she is a little faster than Merrick.
Yes, we.
Thank you for grabbing my butt again, Kyle. That was great. She's going to stoop as if to kind of say, get on, because I'm going to run. And she knows that Merrick is a little slower than she is. So
she crouches down for piggyback.
pretty much.
How does Merrick react to such a gesture?
Climbs aboard.
Class act.
All right, so Merrick climbs onto.
Because I'm assuming that Merrick, because you said that people could start seeing what the luminescence and everything as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He saw her look around like, this is not good. We just need to go.
Can't hear you, Arthur. No sound. Have you been talking for a while?
He's being a jerk.
Ah. Got it.
He's trying to layer in secrets. That's right, because we said,
Oh, we haven't established that we're supposed to be quietly talking to the audience about what our characters are thinking right now.
oh, that's amazing.
Val is pretty much just thinking, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
I really liked it when Merrick grabbed my ass. I hope he does that again.
All right. Sorry. Did not mean to ruin your moment. All right. So Merrick jumps on your back and gets on and
Climbs, not jumps. Jumping makes noise.
okay, climbs gently up your back because running with somebody on piggyback doesn't make any noise at all. What do you do?
Arthur thinks to himself, I wonder if Merrick's mom likes it on top as well. There is no talking. I'm only able to have internal thoughts here, right?
It's amazing how much you get to know people when you have to hold hands with them for like an hour of darkness.
So after nodding to Val, Bonnie's going to start moving forward as quickly as possible and as quietly as possible.
You're doing the fox step. There's like the way of moving that won't make noise in the woods.
We're power walking.
Well, those are two mutually exclusive kind of concepts.
Yep.
So,
But now we're not holding hands anymore, or butts, as Merrick will.
right, but what does the fox say? All right, so you are going to power walk with Merrick on your back. You need to make me a stealthy with a disadvantage. Everybody else can just make a normal stealth check.
On that note, since Merrick has had some experience in the thieving life, taking a look at the constitution of the floor, like what is making up of it, could he, and since they can see now, you think that he might be able to point and gesture where it might like give some sort of indicator where to walk. It might be of assistance. So
we can always try.
Read the panels of the United States, floors of America. Is that what we're?
For those in the studio audience, people are gesturing cryptic messages with their hands
Wildly, and it's very, very confusing to the people that are trying to roleplay. I was like, what the hell is going on up there? Yeah. So
I'm trying to guide her onto softer ground.
the Constitution of the floor that threw me because I'm like, floors don't have constitutions. They don't even have governments.
And my hand, I can point.
I don't it's just stone. I don't think there's a lot of
Like, are you with like a jockey, like guiding me with your knees on the side?
you're not walking on like I just don't see a lot of that. Though the one thing is, I thought you were going to try to convince me that you had some ability to the training in piggyback stealthing, and I was like, But now I'm like thinking I want a whole guild of just piggyback stealthers. Like we only leave the evidence of one person walking around, but there's actually two of us.
There's a Japanese monster that does that. It sneaks up on you in forests and jumps on your back, and then gradually gets heavier and heavier until you can't move anymore, and then it eventually gets bored and goes away.
It's like a drop bear.
That's a really nice, innocuous monster.
And why hasn't that made it into Doctor Who?
Right?
I don't know. So one thing I was gonna say that maybe he could do in order to make things quieter is like wrap himself around her pack in such a way that he's like using his legs and arms to hold things against her so that it doesn't bounce when she's walking faster.
Yeah, but still, it's a lot of extra weight, so I'm still going to call it disadvantage. What did you get, Bonnie?
I got a 7.
Yeah. Clump, 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 clump. What did everyone else get? Anybody get lower than a 7?
3.
3. Clump, 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 clump.
I also got a 7, not disadvantaged.
14 for me.
Do I need a stealth roll as well since I'm not actively moving?
No, you don't. So
We're already screwed.
okay, so Arthur's pretty good. So all right, you take a few steps and you realize you are not being stealthy. Nobody is being stealthy moving like this. Do you want to continue?
Oh, I had another idea. She stops and immediately lets
Okay.
Merrick
Well, this
down.
is new.
Okay.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
As you stop, and the noise. So as you kind of dart through that noise, and you clunk, 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 and you go, oh no! You put your hand up and get everyone to stop. The droning, the middle drone stops. I know you only hear the high pitch and the low pitch.
Looking behind the group, back towards the darkness, Bonnie is going to go off to the side and cast prestidigitation to light a bonfire behind them, hoping to draw the attention of whatever is making that noise to the bonfire and not to us.
Okay. Where?
Casting a light out into darkness,
Just out in the
so we're away from it.
darkness. How far away can you cast?
10 feet, not very far, but it lasts for an hour.
Isn't it? Oh, okay. It's 30 feet, right?
I'm looking at it's 10.
So you start casting. Merrick starts shaking his head. You cast bonfire. Are you stopped?
Yeah, I stopped.
Okay.
You just see the hand motions. No. Better hands down.
Puts his finger up to his lips.
So you guys sit there in silence for a few minutes. Do you keep walking?
Eventually, we're gonna have to.
I mean, Adelaide would try to encourage us to move forward, especially if something's making noise. Like we need to move, and so she's, trying to airport direct.
Yeah.
Well, the entire time, things have been making noise. The strange thing now is one of them stopped.
Yeah, Val does like a forward, like go, 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 let's just get out of here kind of motion.
Okay. So you guys go ahead and start moving forward slowly,
Yeah, Merrick's moving stealthily.
specifically trying to
Yes.
to make less noise. Okay, go ahead and everyone give me a new stealth check. Merrick, I'll let you assist someone else. Your choice, one person.
I'll assist Val.
11.
11.
17.
10.
And Merrick, what was yours? Not that I really need it, but
25.
yours. Yeah. So you guys go ahead and start moving forward quieter. You're happier with the level of sound you're making. You can't get rid of all of it completely. You're not amazing at it, but you're probably quiet enough. And after a few minutes, as you guys kind of start skirting the second pillar, you start to hear the middle drone come back, and it grows louder and louder until it is about the same volume as the others. And it starts to come from all around you again.
Merrick gives a thumbs up.
Okay.
Body on mouth. Sorry, bad idea.
Val just keeps walking, like looking at everything, like, what are we doing here? Oh shit, oh shit.
Adelaide is going to notch an arrow on her bow, but not like she just has it ready and armed. But is moving, like is being quiet, but does not want to get caught without it.
Arthur, about a minute later, as you guys are continuing to walk, what are you wearing as a top?
I have a chain shirt, and over that is my my leather jacket.
Okay, what's your passive?
9.
Perception. 9. Okay. Who's right behind Arthur? Val?
Yep.
Val, what is your passive?
My passive is a 12.
Okay. So Val, you see a very, very small, tiny insect land on Arthur's shoulder. It's about an inch and a half long. It's looks like kind of a cross between maybe a June bug and a scorpion. It's got wings, it flies, it's got a little pincher butt, but it's kind of on a segmented tail that can kind of move around, and it's got a couple of mandibles that are probably maybe a millimeter apart at the widest, which is pretty significant for an insect.
Does it have any nooks?
Okay then. That's not good. Not good at all.
And Arthur does not see this or feel it.
Nope, it's on your chain shirt. It's a little insect. You don't notice.
Sorry, I'm just looking at my items that I have. This might be a really bad idea, but I'm worried if I kill it, it's gonna be worse. I have an alms box as part of my priest pack.
All right.
Which I'm assuming is closed. Like I'm picturing like just a little wooden chest that you open and people donate money into it. So
it's probably a coin slot on the top.
Okay, but I can like put my I can put my armor over that.
Yeah, you could stuff it with something. I mean, a cloth or some bread from your ration or something. Sure.
Adelaide has plenty of handkerchiefs.
I'm just pocket squares right now.
Okay, so I'm going to try to signal everybody like just with a hand wave.
All right.
Not making noise, just with like a small hand wave, like stop, kind of thing.
Even though you're in the back,
she's doing it for a while. It takes a bit for us to notice.
Yeah, but if I make, we're being so we're being so quiet. If I make a big enough arm motion, you guys are probably going to see it because I assume we're all looking around.
Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Val's just got her hand raised for like a solid 2 minutes before someone glances at it.
So, I want to take the alms box and try to like glass and paper it, like where you just like pinch it into the box and like close it in so that it doesn't. I'm not squishing it. It doesn't make noise.
The alms box probably has a 1-inch wall, or maybe even half an inch wall around it. It's going to be hard to kind of scoop under this, especially on chainmail. So do you have something thinner or rigid that you're trying to scoop it with, or?
My leather coat would have been over the chainmail.
Oh, okay. So it's on the leather
It's
coat,
on the leather
actually.
coat. I have that underneath, yeah.
Got it. Okay. So when you guys are sitting there and you're seeing Val like with this box like kind of move towards Arthur, and Arthur like,
what are you doing? I'm thinking that.
Yeah, she's making like the stay still, don't move, like just stay there kind of hand motion.
I would like to make a perception.
Go for it, Arthur.
Oh no. Adelaide sees Val doing something and tries to like get in front of Arthur and just like like that sort of motion with her hands up, trying to keep him from turning around.
14%.
So you look down and you see this insect on your shoulder, and it immediately leaps up on your cheek.
Okay.
Make me a Constitution save.
Damn it!
She doesn't say out loud.
No, that was Heather. I didn't say it like this.
It sounded like you doing a sarcastic version of yourself.
Oh.
It's not a hard one. This is just to keep yourself from jumping and belting out from surprise.
12.
12 is good. 12 is actually the DC. So you just barely hold it together as this thing is now kind of just clinging to your face, and it's just like tapping occasionally. It gets a little better footing.
Adelaide will grab onto Arthur's face, like onto his chin to keep his face straight, and then I do have a pedal. Adelaide will hold on to Arthur's face and try to very carefully put her hand out so it crawls on her instead of on his face.
All right, so you put your sword away?
Yeah, she put her bow away.
Okay, got her bow away. Okay. So you're trying to get it to crawl onto your hand is what you're doing?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right.
I have like gloves on.
Give me an animal handling.
That came out of left field. I should have known that was going to happen.
What else would it be?
I don't know, sleight of hand?
You said you're trying to get it to crawl on your hand, not that you're trying to pick it up. That would be sleight of hand.
Insect handling?
Okay, fine. 12.
All right, so you get it to go about halfway on your hand. So it's half on your hand, the front half, and the back is kind of still on his face, with his little feet just kind of sticking there.
Arthur gives you a look like, yeah, thanks for helping. Mm-hmm.
Now you're stuck too.
Can I try to like cup it and like get it to fall into my hand? Or
Go ahead, you give me a sleight of hand check to try to get it to finish the rest of the way.
Turn your head and cough.
That's an 8.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
All right, so you don't fail completely. So you sit there, you're kind of twisting, and it's not wanting to go. But it kind of, instead of clinging to your glove now, it's kind of clinging to the inside of your sleeve and his face.
No.
And then we're stuck like that. She will raise her other hand quickly and just
I'm ready to farm this out.
very quickly point.
Okay. Val comes over with the alms box and just looks at her like, what were you doing? I put the alms box like under her hand.
Yeah, sure, Arthur. What do you want to do?
I would like to interrupt this.
Please do. Please do.
I would like to motion that I would like to smack it. Okay.
Val does the like emphatic no.
I give you like the countdown in like or mouth 5 seconds, and then I'm going to panic.
Adelaide is just glaring, just like, don't you fucking dare. She's glaring at
You've
it.
got 5 seconds
Still holding his face like,
to get this off, or I'm going to.
Okay, so it's like partly on his face and partly up her sleeve and partly on her hand.
Well, it's kind of just clinging. No, it's just kind of, instead of being clinging to her glove, it just kind of moved and it's now clinging to the inside of her sleeve. You can still see the entire thing, but it could very easily, if it wanted to, start going up her sleeve.
can I let go of Arthur's face and clamp down on my sleeve so it can't go further?
You would squish its head.
But like down the sleeve, like I know where it is, so I'm just trying to stop it from being able to crawl into my sleeve more.
So,
Yeah.
So if you tighten the sleeve, its head would get caught in your sleeve right now. You are, I see, lower. I see. So yes, I see. Sure.
Yeah, lower to keep it from crawling.
That's fine. Absolutely.
Okay, then I will let go of Arthur's face and I will do that to my sleeve.
As you do that to move, since you're no longer holding onto Arthur's face, and his face and your arm are now moving in a different kind of resonance. As you reach to squeeze that down, it kind of lets go of Arthur's face and just clings to your sleeve now. But it's not really going down; it's just kind of sitting there.
I do the pat down of like I've got shit all over me, and I'm like wiping invisible stuff that's not there or is there off of me now.
Okay, so Val comes over with the alms box, and I'm going to very gently like close it around the edge of her sleeve.
Okay. All right. So you are now closed around the sleeve. You've plugged the coin slot, and it is inside of there somewhere.
Adelaide will very gently move her arm up her sleeve to try to basically just encourage it to back up and just be off her in the box.
Well, it's inside. I figured you closed it around the insect, right?
I did,
With the
yeah.
sleeve inside. So your sleeve is trapped inside of the box. So it is in there, but you're not sure if it's still in the sleeve. If you pull the sleeve, it might squish its head. I don't know if you're concerned about killing it or not. Or if it just was I don't want to kill it on someone.
Bonnie holds out her dagger like, do you want me to cut your sleeve so it stays in the box? I have mending. I'll fix it after. Calm your pants.
You can't express that silently.
You're right.
She can make like a sewing motion with her hands.
No, it's fine. Adelaide will just take a second, kind of wince, and then nod.
Bonnie will very gently, using her dagger, cut the edge of the sleeve so the sleeve is in the box and not attached to Adelaide anymore.
All right. So I want that won't be hard, but I do want a dexterity check from Val and Bonnie while you guys are doing this.
I see that
To try to work
popcorn,
together
Merrick.
together.
I'm glad you're
As
enjoying
Merrick is
yourself.
just sitting there eating popcorn rations.
14.
Dex check, you said?
Yeah.
6. But the only thing I'm doing is holding the box shut.
Right, as someone is basically sawing at fabric attached to it. And so you're trying to prevent something. So actually, yours would be a save. I apologize. What does that change?
Nothing.
Okay. So while you're cutting, the box slips out a little bit, and half the sleeve comes out. You're not sure what that may have resulted in. You don't see anything, but part of the sleeve is still in there. But you can't imagine that it's still in the sleeve, and you wouldn't be able to, with how much came out, you would think, okay, we either just killed it or it's fine to pull the sleeve out as you're about halfway through cutting the sleeve.
Bonnie just finishes cutting the sleeve. Like, no, we're just gonna finish it.
Okay. All right. So you cut the sleeve. So you got half the sleeve hanging out of this box now that is closed pretty tightly with you holding it, but it won't stay closed enough with the sleeve in between to not have a crack unless you strap it down with rope or something or string or.
She's fine holding it for now. Yep.
Okay, so you've got it. You're just holding both ends of it so it doesn't crack. All right, you guys have an insect in a box.
What an adventure.
Schrodinger's insect.
And it is, yes, it's Schrodinger's insect because you have no idea if it's alive or dead. Until you
Oh,
open the
God.
box.
What I'm hoping to do is just throw it back into the cairns after we're out of it. And, I'll get a new alms box. It's fine. I can replace it.
In the objective sense, this would have been sort of mildly amusing. As someone who has had to literally catch cockroaches in her apartment for the last few weeks with a Tupperware and a piece of paper, this hits real close to home for me.
It's a hard no.
You're welcome.
I could see it all so clearly and vividly.
And it's disturbing. Okay. So Val kind of looks at everybody like, what do I do with it now?
Arthur shrugs. Let's just go.
just keep moving.
Okay.
It's basically just all.
Yeah, Val just keeps holding it and walks with everybody.
Put it on the ground.
Actually, are there any loose rocks?
Yeah, sure. There's plenty of loose rocks.
Okay, so I'm going to put the alms box down
All right.
and hold the lid shut with
Sure.
one hand and pick up a rock that's just heavy enough to hold the box down firmly
Sure.
and gently put it on top.
All right. You have done this thing.
And we walk away.
Yes. And then she's like, go, go, go.
Merrick sits up off the ground, puts his jerky rations away, and gives a silent golf clap.
Adelaide just glares at him, rubbing at the ripped sleeve on her shirt.
I'll fix it later.
He shrugs, just
Okay.
That was beautiful.
Okay. Val motions for everybody to keep going.
Bugs. It's our doors. We will be defeated every time by an insectoid or invertebrate in a shell.
Ah, yes. Welcome to Shenanigoons. Tune in for the rip-roaring high fantasy, but stay for the 15-minute combat encounter with a normal-sized bug. Hi, Shenanigoons. This is Angela. On behalf of the cast and crew, we kind of have that now, and on behalf of our DM, Logan, I want to take a moment to thank you so much for listening to the show, and for sending us your ideas. Logan assures us that our Twitter contest winners and faithful listener suggestions for NPCs, places, and items will be making an appearance in the show very soon, so keep an ear out in upcoming episodes for those. If you want to submit your own ideas for names of characters, locations, and magic items for the Birchfield Lost and Found, you can use the hashtag Shenanigoons, or tweet at us directly at the Shenanigoons. We've got a growing list of ideas that Logan will be using for inspiration in upcoming episodes. In case you didn't know, Shenanigoons is set in a world that Logan has homebrewed for us. It's called Vale, and it is very big. A few of our Nerdsmith shows actually use that setting, and there is so much to keep track of and keep straight between all of them. NPCs, history, religion, cultural events, not to mention all the hijinks we get into during sessions, and we love that the world we get to play in is so rich and detailed. That being said, notes are so important, and so is reference when you're dealing with a big world like this, and we have found a place to call home for all the information that we need to keep track of about Vale. We are very proud to be partnered with World Anvil and their incredible world-building toolbox. It is essentially a wiki, but a wiki that has been carefully and specifically designed to make it easy to organize your stories, your RPG campaigns, and your other fiction projects. You can make timelines for cultural, political, and historical events that have happened in your world or during your game, session journals for the events that happen in each campaign session, maps that you can pin with major locations, articles for each character, faction, object, and they can all connect together with links and categories to help you navigate between them. Even cooler, World Anvil is free to use and try out for yourself. If you're looking for even more features than what a free membership already comes with, Patreon subscribers to World Anvil get access to some really impressive bonus features, like being able to customize the look of your World Anvil pages, get rid of ads, and allow other users to collaborate on your world. You can have your players or your co-writers all working together to bring your lore and world building to life. We here at Shenanigoons are currently compiling what we know of the world of Vale so far in our World Anvil accounts. Keep an eye and an ear out for more projects in the world of Vale on nerdsmith.org, where you could also consider supporting us here at Shenanigoons. Alright, let's get back to the skulking in the Underdark. Next time we hit a shopkeeper, I am pretty sure my next inventory purchase is going to be a big old can of fantasy bug spray.
So you guys continue moving on, and as you get more towards the center of this room, it gets brighter, the noise gets louder, and as it gets a little brighter, you start to notice that around these pillars that you're still steering well away from, I assume, there's almost like a haze in the air around them.
Nope. No. Nope. 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 Nope.
Oh, God. I'm just picturing, like, locust clouds. Like what you see on TV, the clouds of bugs attacking things. And I'm like, nope.
No.
I want to nope right out of that.
Did I mention nope? Because
I'm picturing a blue canary in the outlet by the light switch. Who watches
so
over
this
me?
noise is still continuing, as I said, it's got a little bit
Like a
louder.
little birdhouse
And
in
you guys continue walking, and it seems as long as you avoid these pillars, everything seems okay. Until a few minutes later, up ahead of you, between two of the pillars, there appears to be a writhing pile, some sort of writhing mass on the ground. It looks almost staticky, like it's just kind of ahead of you. It's very hard to see. It's in one of the darker areas, but like I said, there's still a little bit of light. about 40, 50 feet in front of you. Actually, should be at 60 feet in front of you because that's when the dark vision would see it. You see it a little bit clearer, but it's just a writhing mass of stuff. And then occasionally you see little things flying around it as well. And it looks to be maybe about a foot and a half tall, maybe 4 or 5 feet wide, 3 feet deep, sort of just mass, kind of covered, it's kind of lumpy in places.
Like a humanoid that's completely coated in bugs.
Humanoid, maybe not humanoid, maybe some sort of underground animal, or if it is a humanoid, it's distorted into kind of a weird shape. But yes, it could be big enough for a humanoid.
So why is this a problem?
It's sort of in your path. So now you either need to split the difference between this thing and one of the pillars, or you need to backtrack and go way around another one of the pillars.
Yeah.
I think we split the difference.
We're already in the light, right?
Yeah. Arthur will make a goalpost.
Okay, that's going to put you around 50 feet between either the pillars and the this pile. So as you're kind of skirting around, you get close enough that you can definitely see that this pile is covered in these insects, and it almost appears like there's 3 different sorts of insects. They look similar, but there's distinguishing difference in size and a couple of other features. The way that the pinchers look, or the mandibles look, the way that the one of the types doesn't have a tail, one does, and a third has larger wings, like they're designed to fly differently. And you see the same kind of mass on the pillar as you get closer to that one, completely covering and building these bioluminescent nests.
How big of a bug are we talking?
About an inch and a half long, about half the size of a hissing cockroach, or I'm trying to think of what people might know, what good insects about that size. What's it? Oh, actually a little bigger than that. I'm thinking it's actually more, sorry, maybe it's more than 2 inches. It's about the size of a cricket.
But not like large enough to be a sized creature in D&D. So it's not like... Okay.
It's if anything, it would be considered a swarm. It's not a sized creature. Yeah, it's not a tiny creature. They are tiny, but they're not a tiny creature. So as you're kind of walking along, I need stealth checks because you're going to need to be really quiet in this area to kind of avoid any sort of attention as you're getting this close to these creatures.
21.
23 for Adelaide.
And again, Merrick, I'm going to let you help one other person.
Since Val has the clankiest armor, that's who you would be helping out.
13. That actually helped because my first roll was a 6.
Good. All right. And then Arthur, what was yours?
9.
Okay. So as you get about halfway up to passing these two
Swarms.
things, my brain's not working. Swarms, yeah, I guess is the right term. That middle sound stops, and you notice that the bug that landed on Arthur, they all kind of stop moving on both of the pillar and the mass.
Yeah.
Another stealth check, please, as you continue to move.
I think Cal just got a nat 20 with that face.
Nice, same thing. 23.
Is Merrick still helping Val? Or is he helping Arthur now?
We got a dance.
I got lower. I got an 8.
I think after that last one, he would have switched to. It's like, you're fine. Let's switch to the other guy who's got clanky stuff under a leather cloak.
I rolled a 12.
14.
Okay, and Merrick, you got a nat 20.
Do I need to roll again?
And yes, please, Adelaide.
23.
14.
Beautiful. So you guys move past. Nothing more seems to happen on that. You guys are at the same distance on the other side. However, those insects are still being quiet. You still have a little bit farther you need to go before you're out of their range. Make me one last check. The ideas of these sounds and things are going through your head and constantly worried about.
That's good.
You rolling that one?
Oh, God.
Oh no!
Okay. Do you want to take the catastrophic failure or just a standard failure? If you take a standard failure, you can still help someone. You take a catastrophic failure, you will be the one breaking the king's peace.
I did not want to make that decision myself, so I let the die make it for me. Catastrophic failure.
I don't even remember what that's from. Oh, it's 1776. That's why. I just listened to that yesterday. Why is it always Boston that breaks the king's peace?
Oh dear. I got a 16.
Oh man.
Okay.
So does it really not matter what any of us rolled?
All right. So
Okay, I rolled a 12.
it actually still does.
11.
Okay, 16.
8.
All right. So as Merrick is turning, Merrick, who are you trying to help that turn?
Arthur again.
Okay, so as Merrick turns to Arthur, he's trying to help him take a step. He steps backwards and into Val, who falls down, and just clank, 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 and all of a sudden,
With my 16?
you were solid as hell, but he catastrophically failed, knocking you over. So it's not your fault. Everyone blame Merrick. Don't blame Val.
You can blame the bugs.
So and then all of the sound stops. Every insect is frozen.
Arthur freezes.
We run. We should run. We should run, right? We should just run.
Remember that scene in Mystery Men when they're on the lawn and they can't determine if the sprinklers are a heat-seeking missile they should run or love that. That's what you guys are doing now. Should we run? So don't move. Move. Don't move. Don't move.
Been stopping, so Arthur's just going to stand still and freeze.
I'm inclined to do what Marek says. Even though
But does Bonnie start running? Okay.
Bonnie does not start running. She takes her cues from Merrick.
with a slight grinding of teeth. But okay, whatever you say.
Just very, very quiet. Delicately mouths without moving his teeth together.
So yeah, quiet, still.
Val
Stay on the
Yeah,
ground.
Val's just holding still and like looking at everyone like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Bonnie's trying not to hyperventilate.
All of a sudden, as you are looking out at these insects, you see the ones with the larger wings spread their wings as wide as possible, covering masses of everything they're doing. And then the smaller ones without the tails, they start to do their hum, but they don't do it the way they did it before. It starts somewhere else in the cavern, and a wave of sound comes through the entire cavern to the other side.
Oh no.
And as it does, you see the wings on everything just shift and shake a little bit. And then it starts to come back from the other side.
Oh no.
Can I use thaumaturgy as it's coming back from the other side and do like a thunder sound as far away from us as possible?
Does thaumaturgy have a verbal component?
Yes, I'd have to whisper or something.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Okay, I rolled a 13, so that's a 14.
Okay, so you get your spell off as the sound comes back through. You do, how far away can you do thaumaturgy?
It's 30 feet, so she's just going to aim it as far away as she can from them, just to distort the sound.
Do you do it towards one of the two swarms, in front of you, or behind you?
Back the way we came.
Got it. So this thunder just, and this little sound kind of happens behind you, and immediately the insects with the butts, the ones that landed on Arthur, that have the tails, they are up and moving silently through the air, other than the sound of their wings, towards that explosion sound effect. And they are just like swarming on that spot, and it turns into hundreds and then thousands. And before you know it, there's a small pile of them, probably the size of like a 55-gallon drum, just dumped out of these creatures just on that spot, just kind of jumping and twisting around, looking for something in that area. That's farther back.
Yeah, that's farther back. But as soon as they're like glomped over there, Val just looks at everyone in and makes the like, go, go, go hand motion.
They'll find the arms box.
Yeah.
So you guys just move as quickly as possible?
Adelaide will put a hand down to help her up.
Yeah,
Quietly or as fast as possible?
quietly.
Trying to help Val up
Yeah.
quietly, and then
All right, give me another stealth check.
All of us or just those two?
Everyone who's moving.
quietly.
15.
22.
I got a 14.
19.
Merrick sees that Bonnie is struggling in this quick moment and helps her out. Bonnie, go ahead and give me another one. And then
13.
you got that also because you start to notice that it seems like when they're in this configuration, they don't notice you. They haven't noticed you right now. So while the insect swarm is attacking, the rest are silently and just not moving. And the sound is not coming from anywhere. And then after a few moments, the middle drone starts again. And you guys continue to walk, and then the other two drones slowly join it.
Shallow, calming breath.
I fucking love thaumaturgy right now.
It's been a while since I've seen Mimic. I don't care to watch it anytime soon.
After another while, you have less issue because it seems like once they do something like that, it takes them a little while to kind of become active again, and the noise kind of increases again. And you guys think you're almost halfway through this.
God damn it.
Aw. The insects need a short rest.
Seeing Merrick helping people get quiet when they're walking around, Adelaide's gonna make an effort to try to help too, since she's been able to stay pretty quiet this whole time.
Okay. Are you proficient in stealth?
I am.
I just that actually doesn't matter according to the system. Allow you either way, but it just helps me visualize that. Okay, you are good at it. You're not going to be giving bad advice.
Yeah, that's why I asked. I realized, I also am pretty fucking good at that.
So you guys continue on for a while, and you guys have kind of learned how to avoid them and stay stealthy. And with two people helping, you guys slowly make your way through this place. You guys are about 6 or 7 hours through this. You have a ways to go longer, but you're getting hungry, you're getting tired.
Jesus.
It's been a long day. Are you going to push through? Because remember, you guys traveled to get here for a few hours before you even got to the entrance of this place. Yes, Merrick.
During one of the times that we stop and wait, Merrick would very quietly take off his boots and put them into his pack, so that he's moving just on stockinged feet.
Okay.
And then look at other people who might have boots as well that are causing clompy clomp noise. Sorry, Val.
Bonnie will take hers off and do the same.
Minor leather, does that matter?
If it's not soft enough leather, then it would cause noises.
Sorry, also remember that you probably would have gotten through here in 3 hours, maybe 4 at the most, but you guys are walking quietly. So you still think you're half speed, so it just takes a lot longer. That's part of why.
I don't know if I have to be.
You don't. Do you want to be through this and leave everyone behind? Eric's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
There's pretty much no way that Arthur's going to take a short rest or any.
You can stop for an hour if you want.
I think that would be a bad idea. But I will stay. I'll stay with the group if we can kind of communicate that silently.
So you guys are going to go ahead and push beyond your travel time.
Adelaide is going to look and see as we're walking if there's anything on the walls that even slightly indicate there could be a little outcropping or someplace.
Well, remember, you guys decided to walk straight through the center. You were nowhere near the walls.
We're right in the
this
middle.
place.
Right. You're right. Never mind.
And there are some rocky kind of outcroppings, but it almost seems like every time you've investigated one, it is filled with this bioluminescent nest. They filled every nook and cranny except the flat surfaces.
Adelaide won't take her boots off when Merrick indicates, but she does have a shit ton of handkerchiefs, and she'll tie around some of the buckles on her boots just to pad them down.
Good idea.
Yeah, Val's wearing scale mail, so I assume her shoes are probably just leather. So
The metal on top of the leather.
yeah, so she'll wrap like a piece of cloth out of her bag, like part of her bedroll or something maybe, around the metal just to try to make it a little quieter, but she leaves her boots on.
Monty definitely took hers off.
Let's push through.
Okay. All right. So as you push into your second hour of forced march, please give me a Constitution save. Okay, I gave you a gimme on the first hour for those that are curious.
21.
21.
13.
14.
2. That is a natural 1.
Do you want a catastrophic failure?
No.
Okay, so normal failure, you only gain 1 level of exhaustion. So you're now at disadvantage on all checks and saves, I think? No, ability checks. Just ability checks, I think. And I believe, is your speed reduced by half, or is that next level? Okay. All right, so you've hit your first level of exhaustion there, and you've got probably 2 more hours of walking to go.
Adelaide's gonna see. Can we notice that he's lagging a little bit?
He could easily hide the first level of exhaustion, so that's up to him. Because yeah, disadvantage on ability checks.
He just looks uncomfortable, maybe, but
Let me just keep going.
Yep, soldier on.
Well, there we go.
All right, so for the third hour of forced march, I need another Constitution save. Okay, so everyone makes that one, and then the last hour before you're going to be out of their range, you're guessing, I need 1 more check.
14.
10.
Natural 20.
19.
6.
So 14, 10, and 6 all miss it. So you are each taking a level of exhaustion. So you are all at disadvantage to your ability checks, except for Bonnie, until you get a long rest, I believe.
Yep.
And it requires food and drink along with the long rest.
But you said that was the last one to get out. So we should be leaving the cairn.
All right. But after, so you are out of their range. You are not quite out of the, so you don't see the bioluminescence anymore. You're back in the darkness like you were at the beginning. So that means you believe you're nearing the end. You do have a little more to travel to get to the exit of this place. But you think you might be safe to go ahead and take a rest here. That's up to you, though. So do you take a rest, or do you could push it for 1 more hour to get to the end?
The long rest is per level of exhaustion?
Correct.
I'd be okay. You could convince me now to probably rest, but
Can we find a little alcove to hide in?
You're still in the middle of everything. Yeah, there are
Okay, so Val motions to everybody like a hold on a second kind of motion, and with her dark vision goes over closer to the wall to see if she can find a little alcove or anything.
You are an hour's travel from the wall of this place. You guys went down the center of a gigantic room.
Oh, okay. So I didn't realize the walls were an hour away from us.
Yeah, that's where you're headed. The closest wall is the exit.
Adelaide is going to try, Adelaide's going to motion tiredly. We should just keep going.
vote show of hands, or we all agree with that? Okay. I'm just going to side with the majority on that. Arthur stops taking his tent out of his backpack and then slowly puts it back.
Oh, he was so ready.
So, despite what may happen, you decide that pushing forward is more important. Best to rest in between these places of danger instead of in one. So go ahead and give me one last Constitution save.
Boom!
22.
Natural 20.
Also natural 20.
4.
8.
So the 8 and the 4 both get another level of exhaustion. You are now at half.
So we're not actually out yet because our speed was halved.
No, it would happen towards the end of that. So,
Okay.
So you kind of your speed, you just start to slow down towards the end, and as you are your ability to go any farther is being drained from you with every step. You look ahead, and those of you with dark vision, just in front of you, finally see the light, or the end of the tunnel. Even though there's no light.
We died.
We all see the light. Walk towards the light.
And then right beyond that,
And now that you are at the end of it, you would guess that you're in a good position to be able to light a torch. At least you see some alcoves where you can kind of cubby back and hide. You drag everyone over there, and you find a good place to bed down.
is there a second Karen?
So Bonnie will, having the dark vision start and not being exhausted. I think Val and Bonnie are the only two that aren't exhausted. Or Val, do you have one level?
I have 1 level.
All right, so I think Bonnie. Is it really just Bonnie that's the only one who doesn't have the level of exhaustion?
Yeah.
Bonnie starts taking care of everybody. Making sure they've got food, water, they can rest safely, and is basically, I'm going to take first watch. You all sleep and relax.
Val is gonna pull the cave fisher filament filled sack out of her bag and hand it to Bonnie and say, bug net.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun. These are the stories. Only the previous guy have been changed to protect the innocent.
But no, seriously, Bonnie worked at a dock. She probably has lots of fish net making experience.
That I do.
And you said the filament was still sticky as hell when I put it in the bag, so I vote giant bug net.
Yeah, the best you're gonna get is putting up some strings as kind of
Fly paper.
fly paper, because there is no working with this like you would with a net. It's too sticky.
It's taffy.
It's basically, yeah, it's kind of like you take, like duct tape, but you roll it so it's all sticky on the outside, and then trying to tie a knot with it. It's just not going to work. It's yeah, but yeah. So you can put that up as a deterrent.
I will do so.
So you keep watch in the night, and as the watchmen occasionally notice, one of those insects does get stuck on the filament that's kind of floating around, or that's kind of dangling around above you, and then it's morning. At least you think it's morning. It's at least later. You're not quite sure. Time passing here is a little innocuous. Everyone's rested. They lose a level of exhaustion. And you wake up feeling okay. I assume you start another fire, or continue the fire to go ahead and start making breakfast. And what do you do?
That was not fun, you guys.
Parts of it were entertaining.
I really don't like bugs.
Yeah.
I generally don't mind bugs, but weird bugs that look like some sort of cross between a wasp and a scorpion are not appealing. At least we got it off of you guys before it stung one of you. We don't know what those things do. It could have been oh, shit, we have to go back through there.
Oh, no.
Maybe there's an exit on the other side. We don't know.
I would prefer that, but I am really hoping we don't have to go back through the bug cavern. If we do, I vote we pick up the one I stuck in the alms box, because maybe Birchfield will want to study it.
At the mention of the word Birchfield, Adelaide's just shoving her bag packed, or like putting the clothes back in the bag. And she just shoves a little harder at that word.
I think if we were able to obtain 2 of the other bugs, one of each, I think that might be of interest, since they all seem to work in tandem with each other.
Well, we've got this filament stuff, and Val points above us where there's bugs stuck to it. That worked pretty well. I'm glad I kept it.
That's a good point. What kind of bugs are stuck in the filament?
The ones you were facing. They are the only ones who exist here.
So when Merrick was asking what kind of bugs were stuck in the filament, I think he meant which of the 3 versions are stuck in the filament.
Oh, it's only the ones with the little pincher bugs.
Arthur's gonna cast Silent Image of the bug that was on his face, on Merrick's face, and then start to eat a ration. He saw through my ruse.
Well, considering he sees it but doesn't feel it, I'm pretty sure, right?
And I saw you casting a spell.
Yeah.
Are the other 2 types of bugs only on the little, like, outcroppings that they've made that are bioluminescent?
Yes.
Is that the same as what was in the box, or is that a different one?
So in theory, we could get some of the other ones to take back to Birchfield also, but it would probably be hard.
Correct.
And dangerous.
Yeah, and dangerous. So maybe not.
I would agree with that statement.
But we could at least take back the one that's inside the alms box if it's still there on our way out.
Or we could try to find Eves' path. Eves? I'm still not sure.
Abe's. I think it was Abe's.
Ebert.
So where are we heading next?
Wasn't the map saying something like the Cavern of Death?
Death's Cavern, yeah. Do you know if any proctors have a habit of taking animal companions along?
Possible. They have enough people in their ranks that I could just not know.
And it could have been something just like Nugget or something. You know? There are other animals down here we've encountered.
That would make me sad. I hope it wasn't. Well, I know it's not Nugget himself, but
What I don't understand is why there even is more Birchfield staff down here. I mean, they knew we were coming, right? We made this plan. Either Robin decided to send his own men down here beforehand after we gave him a little taste of information, or somebody knew we were coming down here and just decided to...
Well, I mean, given the track record of what we've seen from the Institute so far, we know that we were being watched when we were being evaluated. So it's entirely possible that they send more than one team in tandem, just to make sure that if one team fails or if one team decides to renege, that the other team is there to take care of business.
It's also possible that it's Birchfield, but someone else in Birchfield. I don't know if it's the same for Birchfield, but I know with the Knights of Joy and Sorrow, I mean, there's the High Priestess who's in charge of the whole order situation, but there's also different groups and not everyone always agrees. So maybe a different faction inside Birchfield sent their own people because they want it for a different reason. I mean, it's a college or institute or something, right? So maybe there's different departments. Like the history department is going up against the, I don't know, math department. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Math is hard.
The dreaded math department, yes. We now know our nemesis.
You know what I mean. But, different groups inside the entire institute. It could be that Robin sent us and works for one of them, and that there's a different group inside the institute that also wants the information.
They are not devoid of politics, so it's within reason, I suppose. I just don't like people not thinking I can do things.
It may not have been them at all.
I don't think it's personal. I think it's business. Either the Birchfields or someone who wants to make us think that it's Birchfield.
That's also possible.
If that's the case, then they're toting around Birchfield merchandise, and I don't take kindly to it.
What if it's a group of the Reevesmen? Ooh.
Then they also should have called us to hire us.
Again, not impossible. For all we know, I forget who said it earlier, but it might have been Merrick. Maybe it's someone who took something from Birchfield, like a piece of equipment that has the insignia on it. Because Ebes didn't see pins on them, so we don't know if it's because they don't have them or because he just didn't see them.
They may have just put Gregor's back in the box.
There's enough weirdness down here.
They're just toting Gregor through the cairn.
To his final resting place.
Or maybe there's more than one artifact down here. Just because we were sent for one doesn't mean there's not another that maybe another team would be after.
That's also not impossible. There's a lot of possibilities. We won't know until we either run into them or get back to the Institute, probably.
I would have just hoped for a little more transparency, is all. I guess, just a little naive on my part.
In my line of work, it's known that only one person can really keep a secret. So, if someone came up from knowing where the elemental grimoire was, painted pictures of it, led a map, and multiple people knew about the map, who knows? It could be anybody.
Well, and I mean, granted, if they're from the Institute, I agree with you. I would have liked to have been told that another group was also going. But if they're not even from the Institute, they wouldn't have necessarily had a way to know or tell us.
Oh, maybe we haven't ended yet.
Well, if they are from the Institute or not, regardless, as long as we're the first people to get there and get the item, since we're the only ones who knew about the last map and its actual location, then that's just bonus points for us. And if it is a test, then they'll see that their faith in us was well placed. And if it's not, then the other party, too bad, so sad. You weren't sanctioned or asked to do it.
I can get behind that.
There is a bright side to every cloud if you look for it.
There's no clouds in the Underdark.
Only of bugs.
Bonnie prestidigitates a cloud right in front of him. You were saying?
I stand corrected.
All right. Well, let's finish eating breakfast and get going then. The sooner we get going, the sooner we get to the elemental grimoire.
So what's next on this map? We know we're going to Death's Cavern, but what else are we looking at?
Well, we know to avoid these Duragar.
Yeah, it definitely says to be careful of them.
But I don't know what's in Death's Cavern.
Death? Yeah.
Something dangerous, I'm sure. So, according to what Adelaide has here on her map, there's Death's Cavern, and then we get to something called the Cave of the Bleak. And then there's the Duragar, which are over here, and we're supposed to stay away from them. And then over here, where the X is the elemental grimoire. So it looks like we have to go through Death's Cavern and the Cave of the Bleak, whatever those are.
Oddly less dismal sounding as you get further along.
That is true.
Honestly, after that, and she gestures back towards the Cairns, anything sounds better than that. Again, that was awful.
We should rename them the Cairns of Butterflies. Sounds better.
Well, I mean, with the noises they were making, I'm pretty sure that the wailing actually was a fairly apt description.
It's like,
Very nice tonality.
Once again, your impersonations are just spot on.
I've been working on them. And he just gives Adelaide just like a stare for a minute.
I am all for moving on, and she'll pack up her stuff. She's got a different shirt on than she did yesterday.
Bonnie had mended the sleeve, so it was fixed.
As you say that you're ready to move on, the sleeve's been mended, you start to pack up, you start to hear this running towards you from the darkness of the next area. Something panicky.
I draw my scythe.
Bonnie stands up, rapier drawn and at the ready. Because she can see into the darkness.
Pulls her bow out.
You can only see a few feet into the darkness. As you see about 60 feet, there is a man, and he is wearing a nice traveling cloak, and looks like he may be a priest of some sort. He's got a little holy symbol, and next to that is a small bronze Birchfield Institute insignia. and he sees you as you kind of come around the corner with the light casting on your face, and he's like looks like desperately happy to see you. Just he's like relieved that there's somebody else, but he still has this panic on his face as he continues to run towards you, and he goes, "We have to go, we must run." And then an arrow from the darkness strikes him in the back, and he drops.
Fire out, prestidigitation.
And this arrow is black, with black fletching. Towards the shaft, there is a little bit of a green kind of viscous fluid.
I'm sorry, guys. We gotta jump it. I'm sorry.
What do you do? What do you mean jump
You're
it?
gonna do a wild jump. You're gonna kill us all.
I don't have a choice.
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry.
this isn't good.
You know what happened last time?
We're not. I gotta go. Sorry. Hold on.
Guys, we're taking fire.
This land is near a hospital.
Hold on.
Like what you hear? This is a small sample of the action and excitement that await you every Monday on the Chaotic Goodness Podcast. Download us on your favorite podcast app and join us for space opera, action, adventure, and lots of console cleaning. Let the chaos begin.
Now we can be found as part of the Nerdsmith Podcast Network. Find us at nerdsmith.org.